there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited. I am so excited about this topic tonight. And I wanted to talk specifically tonight about how you are just one decision away from living the life that you desire. I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist, business coach, and consultant. I got started my company over 17 years ago. And I had an idea that I wanted to take what I was doing professionally as a corporate trainer and my systems in motherhood and package that into my very own business. I had no idea how to do that. Hey there, Kendra, good to see you. And so I started looking for someone to help me, and I ended up bumping into a small resource business center in my town. And I went to the director, and he told me that my idea, mom coaching, that didn't make any sense and that no one would ever pay me to do what I do today. And I always share that story with you because maybe you think outside of the box like me, and you've been sharing your ideas with others, and they've told you that what you want to do, Frida, that it won't work. But that's not true. I kept looking for someone to help me, and I ended up bumping into an amazing coach who I've worked with for over a decade. And her model was very powerful for me because while I didn't want to do what she was doing, the way she was doing it, her model for running her company really showed me what this could look like. It paved the way forward. And so I hope that as you're listening to me right now, or if you pop in, whether you're here for the first time or you come all the time, that I hope that I'm a source of that for you, right? And I hope that some of what I share with you, that the whole point I come here is to inspire you, to let you know that this is absolutely possible. You can take what you know, you can package it into a high ticket offering, and you can build an amazing business that allows you to replace your job income if that's what you desire, or create the financial freedom that you desire. And you can build that business and it be time rich. So that's my story. I've been coaching thousands of women over the last 17 years. And it all started with just me having this idea that I wanted to go to work as myself. And I decided that I wanted to build a business that would allow me to get myself free, because that was really important to me. I didn't see myself as a person that could work 40 years for someone else, and maybe that's you too. And so I built out models that I call time rich. I created tremendous time freedom for me in my company. And so I work approximately 4 to 6 hours a week servicing my customers. And I love it, right? And I teach other people how to do the same thing. Now, what's really interesting is, when you run a great company, I know a lot of times when you come on these lives, and I'm sure you guys, follow a lot of people often talk about running a successful business, and they equate it with, they always talk about money. And I want you to know that money is an incredible tool. It creates options for you to be able to stand in the gap in your life as you need to. It creates financial freedom, financial stability. But my husband developed kidney disease over 10 years ago. And when he did, one of the things that was tough for us, okay? My kids were 11, 9, and 6. And so dialysis is 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. And our kids were, still busy. But one of the things I was so grateful for was the model that I had built my business gave me the time freedom to be able to stand in the gap for my family. And that's really important, to build your business properly so that if you ever need that business, it'll be there for you. Fast forward, my husband did get a kidney transplant, and he's doing amazingly well. And we were able to hire for him for many years a private physician so that he could get an elevated level of care. I believe that's why he did so well through the kidney transplant process. So, growing a great business isn't just money, money, money for the sake of money. It allows you to be able to offer things to your family, be there for your family in ways unimaginable. My husband didn't have to, once he got surgery, think about going back to work or anything like that. He could focus on healing. And so I hope that this message really connects with those of you who want options. To me, also growing a great business has allowed my husband and I to invest over $1 million in elementary, middle, and high school, giving our kids a world-class education. And I know that there's some moms and dads out there that follow me, that one of the reasons you want to grow a great business is you want to create options. You want to create options. And I know that, right? That's something that was really important to me. And obviously, your personal freedom, you can't put a price on. And, to be able to be the boss applesauce, or to do what you want to do when you want to do it, however that is, date your husband in the middle of the day, date yourself in the middle of the day. You got to be free to be able to do that. And I love that building your business so that money is no longer concerned, and that you have the freedom to do what you want to do is where it's at. And my mission is to support more women with this. Now, today, what I'm going to talk about very simply is that you're just one decision away from living the life that you desire. And I thought that what would be really powerful is for me to explain why people are not living the life that they desire, right? Because you have desire, you know what you want. Imagine right now if you could, live the way you want, if you could work from the comfort of your home, have the kind of financial freedom that you desire, what does it look like? Think about it right now. And I'm sure you've got a picture in your mind of what it looks like. Like for you, it might mean that, in the mornings, you, instead of running off to work, you get up in the mornings, you have a nice relaxing breakfast, you get to enjoy your children, if you have children, or your partner, or you get to have a cup of tea by yourself before you run off to do anything. It might mean that you then go work out in the way that you want to, and you don't have to compact the things that are important to you because you're running off to do something else. I want you to really get a taste of what that desire looks like. Imagine right now, what does freedom look like for you? As a result of freedom, does it mean that you see your friends more? Does it mean that you spend more time with your family? Does it mean that you're more intentional on conversations, or the people you're with in your home, you really get to enjoy them because you don't have to choose anymore? Think about it, all right? Because if you think about that now, this particular training is going to really support you. It's going to support you in really understanding exactly what I mean. Now, I'm coming off of having hosted the Giant Experience Conference, and I think that a lot of you guys know we've been promoting that event, and we just finished the event on Friday. It was amazing. And this particular class was incredible. And they were incredible because I think that they allowed themselves to lean in and imagine for themselves what would they do if they were not afraid. Because in order to change your life, you have to really think about not being afraid. Because whether it's something a big goal, right, that you desire, just because it's big and just because it's something you really want doesn't mean it doesn't make you afraid, right? I think about all the big things that I've ever accomplished in my lifetime. And every time I've done them, I've always been afraid the first time I've done them. Okay. For example, first time I got signed to a Emmy nominated nationally syndicated television show, I was scared, like going, like really, like cameras running, like with me and a family, like, are you serious? Coach them live, like the whole world gets to see me at the same time, right? But it was something that I knew I wanted to do, and it was something I knew I was capable of, but it still created that fear, right? So when we have these big desires or whatever our dreams are, whatever we want to accomplish, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be afraid. It could be something like, that you're not standing in your value, charging what you should be charging, but you're afraid to ask for your value. And every time it's time to say that number, you don't say it. You discount what you're doing, you undervalue what you're doing, and it's all because of fear. And then that one moment when you stand in your value because you're worth it, and you ask for what you desire, you get it. All right. So one decision, right, can change everything for you. And I watched a woman over the course of this week, several of them, one pitch to her local television station, her own segment. Another woman, she boldly, right, put together her packages after learning what I taught over the course of the week and closed the very first $15,000 deal. Had never asked for that kind of money before. So what I'm telling you is that was always available to her, but she didn't step into it, not because it wasn't available. She didn't step into it because of, number one, because of fear. Okay. And likely you haven't stepped into whatever that next level for you either because of how fear shows up for you. Now, fear is a really interesting thing. And I know that so many people have heard folks talking about fear as false evidence appearing real. Maybe. Okay. But I actually don't see fear this way. I actually feel that whenever I engage with fear really, and I move in the direction of the thing that scares me, right, as it relates to my goals and as it relates to my dreams, that I get to live with a new gift. So let me explain. And the same will be true for you. Over the years, what I've realized is that every single time I take that next step into the thing that scares me, that I learn something completely different about myself and what my capacity is. And I believe the same is true for you. So you are just one decision away from living the life that you desire. And one of the things that might be keeping you from that desire might be, a more profitable business. That desire might be having more time freedom. That desire might be working with the ideal clients that you want to work with, or something else. Is likely fear that you have convinced yourself, right, that pausing, being paralyzed, not moving in the direction of what you want is where you are. When if you had the accountability, right? Someone calling you out and you leaned into that, you would have the opportunity to face your fear. I hope this is supporting you. I know this to be true. I remember, and some of you guys know the story, I did not know how to swim like 8 years ago. I had no idea how to swim. And so we would travel a lot as a family, and my kids are amazing swimmers. And I always was the one that was kind of splashing around in the water, but not really swimming. And because I had this tremendous fear. And I decided I wanted to learn to swim, but as an adult swimmer, you're dealing with different kind of emotions around that fear. So I signed up for swimming classes, decided to join, to sign up for my triathlon, and in which I would have to swim 0.62 miles, right? So a little over half a mile, open water swim. And I invited 11 other women to join me. Now, let me talk to you about this for a minute. I invited 11 other women to join me to do this triathlon, and they said yes. And only one of them could swim also. And we all did it. And what was interesting was when I was practicing swimming and swallowing this water, learning how to swim in open water. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Right? Dealing with the murkiness of all of that and thinking about all the psychological trips. And my swim coach, my triathlon swim coach, she said to me, she said, the day of the swim, I want you to focus on what you feel. And I don't want you to focus on what you see. Because what you will see, your head in that water, in that lake with all those people around you, you don't have a lot of experience with that. But if you focus on what you feel, I had sharpened my saw. I was practicing every day. She had me swimming twice as long as the actual race distance. She knew I would not be tired. She knew I knew how to tread water 45 minutes to 1 hour, no problema, right? And so she knew I would be fine. But if I focused on what I saw, because I had never seen it before, I would be afraid. So I started swimming. I'm swimming. I get halfway in the swim. And the thing about swimming in a tri race, usually you swim away from people in the beginning, and so everybody looks really small from the water, right? And then when you turn and you're at the halfway point, you start seeing bodies emerge. They start getting bigger. You can identify folks more. And when that happened for me, I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm an amazing swimmer, okay? So what I'm telling you is that if you face your fear, you get to live with a new gift. I got to live with this gift that I'm an amazing swimmer. I'm an amazing swimmer. And I had gone my entire life having a belief that that wasn't true. Number two, okay? Today we're talking about you're just one decision away from living the life that you desire. Number two, belief, okay? So I want you to understand this thing about belief is that the life you're living right now is based on your beliefs, okay? And so, I do believe that we have to take 100% responsibility for the success we desire and for the success that we can create or for the mess that we create for ourselves. But if you get yourself into it, if you got yourself into this, you can get yourself completely out of it, right? By understanding that you need to change your beliefs about yourself. See, your own internal beliefs ultimately is your capacity. It is your wall. It is your ceiling. So wherever you're going right now, however far you're reaching right now or not, is a function of those beliefs. And so if you don't like your thought life because of what it creates, think about it right now. Think about what's not happening. Think about the desires that aren't fulfilled right now, right? And you're like, I'm way too smart to be struggling, you know what I mean, with whatever it is, okay? You are. But it's because of your beliefs and your belief pattern and your habits around your thought life that you keep enabling over and over again things that are not true about you. Okay. And I think one of the things that I love in working with women, sharp, smart women who believe in value and invest in themselves, is that they pay me so I can hold them accountable to and shine the light on them of what it is that they say they want. And I'll tell you why this is important. If you don't have accountability in your world, why you need it. Okay. It is because, see, we all know what those desires are. When I asked you at the beginning of this training, I said, think about it. What are the desires? And you could call them out. Boom, 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 boom. Right. But then if our beliefs don't line up, right, with us feeling that we're worth it, then even though we have the desires of what we want, we will shrink, right? We will shrink to those beliefs. And having someone sometimes that can see you as you can be is everything. It's everything. Before I grew my coaching business or knew that it would be successful, I had my coach whispering in my ear, my consultant whispering in my ear, saying, "You're magnificent. You can do this. And this is why. And this is what I see in you." And my question to you is, who do you have in your world whispering in your ear? And sometimes because of our belief system, we can't receive it. I see this all the time where you can have the world. Someone can have the world. They can have access to the exact same thing that others have. And they use it completely different because of their mind. They make things small. They make people wrong. They, whatever. They can't lean into whatever it is. And I'm telling you that your beliefs about yourself determine your worthiness, what you believe you deserve. Okay. So if you don't like what you're seeing, it's time to change those beliefs by choosing what you're going to associate, the people you hang out with, the things you read, the books you see on TV, the things that you associate with. All right. Number 3. You're one decision away from living the life you desire. Number 3 is putting yourself last. Okay. You're like, me, putting myself last. Yeah, putting yourself last. Okay. So this idea that so many women think that we have to put ourselves last in order to reach our goals and our dreams, and it's just not true. You cannot give someone or anyone the best of you if you don't even know her. Okay. What I know for sure is because I put myself first, so that as a result of me growing, hey, Linda, hey, Rochelle, as a result of me growing the insides of me, I'm able to give my family all of me. Okay. My children have been the direct benefactors of my growth. And your children, your family, your spouse will be the direct benefactors of you growing. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Is it easy to say, no, everybody else goes first? Well, what I found is that making that decision that I had to get myself free. I got to invest in myself. I've got to write big checks for me. I've got to bet on me. As a result of me taking that stand for myself, I've been able to be a blessing in tremendous ways to my family. And I know that so many women, we do it the other way, right? We are like, no, Tommy, you get this, and I'll do this when you go off to college. And just sometimes we wait just too long, Rhonda. We wait too long. All right. And it's a disservice. I think one of the greatest examples that we can be is lead from the front. Show your children how it's done. Okay. Don't build your life being codependent on a man or codependent on your job. My husband and I have been married this December the 29th, 25 years. 25 years. Okay. And I will say, I'm just not codependent in a relationship. He's not codependent in a relationship. Two independent people. I make a decision to invest in myself to make myself better. I've never gone to my husband and asked permission. Am I transparent about my investments? Yes. But if I were going to go to law school, I'm not going to say, babe, do you think I should go to law school? Because my husband's going to think, do you think you should go to law school? Come on. And so many of us, women in particular, we hide behind our spouses because we don't want to put ourselves first. So we're like, let me just go to someone and you just talk me out of what I want to do for me. Okay, just please, no, talk me out of what I want to do for me. Okay. It's funny because I never did that. So I take a stand for women to show up for themselves. I've been able to see how, as a result of me taking that stand for myself, investing in myself, I'm my number one asset, that it's been able to be a blessing to my family in tremendous ways. And I hope that you guys hear my heart on this. All right. And your husband's income is not a plan for you. Okay, your job will let you go in a hot second if they need it to. It's not a plan for you. Okay, for those of you who are looking to become entrepreneurs, and you get the skill and the talent, and you keep hiding, instead of showing up for yourself. I'm just appealing to you, right? Just think about this. Number 4, you're one decision away from living the life you desire. Okay, number 4. That's not understanding what's on the other side. Gosh, I could say that like 100 times. So you not knowing what's on the other side because you won't take that action, you won't take that leap, you won't invest in yourself is one of the things that's separating you from the life you desire. You know, I think about this all the time because I've been in this business for 17 years now. And I've supported so many women by transferring my knowledge, my step by step, to think bigger, to think outside of the box, to stand in their value, to own their bigness, right? Like 100%. And one of the biggest separators that I see, okay, is not understanding what's on the other side. If you've ever seen someone that you admire and you're like, wow, he's so confident, she's so confident. How did they become confident? They they stood on the other side. Okay. And what I mean by that is they understand that failure is not a problem, that there is no success without failure, that success is actually built on making mistakes. And when you understand that failing isn't the end all or be all, it is just the beginning. When I look at this company I've built, and I think about all the mistakes that I have made, and there have been many, let me tell you, I am so grateful that I don't judge myself by the things that I do not do or did not do perfectly. It is my imperfections that have allowed me to be relatable to other people. It has allowed me to create deeper connections. It's allowed me to figure out what I truly want. It's the things that didn't go well. All right. But you will never know that if you're just trying to get everything just right, trying to get your process just laid out before you make an investment in yourself, trying to get your systems all set up before you get this business out, trying to coach yourself and as if you know what you're doing. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I hear everything. So sometimes people tell me like, Mia, I'm going to come and I'm going to work with you once I do these things. And I'm thinking, you're going to waste your time. The thing is, there's no success without incremental failures. Okay. And success is built on failures. Think about, I always say, use the airplane example, imagine that there are no airplanes and these guys, the Wright brothers, decide they're going to build a bird that's going to fly in the sky and people are going to be inside. Do you really think that the first time that plane set off that it did not fall to the ground? Okay, let's be clear. We know it did. Okay, over and over and over again. I mean, think about any great creator. I know the Hershey story, Hershey chocolates, which I love. And I went to see his story. I'm like such a nerd with that, right? Like if I go to an amusement park, I always like to go to the session where they do the little documentary on how the park came about. And I went to see their story, and basically he had this idea to create Hershey Park, but the land he bought was a quarry, so it was all rocked. Like literally, it wasn't even buildable. So imagine he's got this big bodacious dream, right? And he buys land that's all rock. So then he decides to be one decision away to live the life of his dream. And he told all the people in the town that if they wanted to have rock or stone for their home, they could have it for free. But they had to provide their own way to, transport it. And that's how he cleared out enough of the land so that he could begin to live the life of his dream. See, success is built on making mistakes. And sometimes maybe you've been trying to get it just right. And maybe that's the thing that's in the way. Maybe because when you see what people are doing, you only see their successes. You only see the glossiness, you're believing the press clippings. But I'm here to tell you, okay, that this journey that I've been on has been a journey. And I appreciate the bumps and the bruises as much as the wins, right? Because they're all part of it. All right. And I want you to know that if you want to live the life that you desire, you got to understand what's on the other side. And that's moving in the direction, implementing, doing the things you need to do to be able to realize that dream. It doesn't happen because you're thinking about it. It doesn't happen because you know what I mean? You just sit with it. It happens because you lean 100% into it. I'm going to take show a couple of your comments. Rochelle writes, so true, sis. We have to change our faulty thinking thoughts. Thank you. Great. And then Linda writes, accountability is key. Our personal accountability and what Mia Redrick provides makes an unbelievable difference. Thank you, Linda, for putting that there. And Rhonda says, yeah, cute hair. I needed to hear this tonight. Awesome. And thank you, Rochelle. Rochelle says, congratulations on my 25th wedding anniversary, which is coming up. Perfect. And there's beautiful Kendra. She says, yes. Okay. So tonight I'm talking about your one decision away from living the life that you desire. And here's number 5, bad experience. Okay. So sometimes we have a bad experience, right? And we have a bad experience. And because of that bad experience, we then think in our minds that all of our experiences are going to be like that bad experience. That bad experience could be a bad customer. That bad experience could be a bad coach or consultant. That bad experience could be, how you showed up in a moment, right, in your life. It could be a bad relationship. It could be tons of things, right? So what I want you to understand is that in every moment, there's an opportunity for growth. I don't care what the moment is. I don't care if you loved it, you didn't like, whatever it is, okay? There's always an opportunity for personal growth. And so I'm of the mindset that I take 100% responsibility for whatever's going on in my life and in my world, right? So, for example, I'll use this to be transparent. I hired a personal coach, right, for a personal trainer. And I've always had a trainer, but I hired this one trainer, and the trainer was great. Okay. And the trainer is like telling me what to do, and I'm doing what the trainer's doing, but I'm eating like I'm not eating right. Like seriously. Okay. So I'm showing up at every training session, but truthfully, I am actually not doing the right thing. Now I could easily say, now, why is it that my waist is not whatever it needs to be, right? Or why is it that I'm not having the results? And I could easily say I'm having a bad experience. But the truth of the matter, if I took 100% responsibility, I actually didn't follow the meal plan. You know how like the trainer gives you like a book, you're supposed to write in what you're eating at each of those meals, be transparent, send it in. I wasn't doing that, okay? Because I wasn't ready to own my own experience, my own journey. I want to do what I want to do and go see the trainer, okay? Which meant that, I was maintaining where I was, but I wasn't able to lean in 100% to the results that were available to me. I want you to think about it, right? Or it could look like, right? Someone says, love what you're saying, curious about what the process with your coaching entails. Thank you. I can't see your name. So I'm going to show you what I see, okay? Just says Facebook user. So you have to write your name after that, okay? There are many different ways that I work with clients we interview every client to make sure they're fit. Mostly what I do is help people package what they know. So I'll talk about that a little bit. I've got a couple more points, 2 more points, and then I'll answer your question completely. All right. Thank you for the question. All right. A bad experience could look like maybe you worked with a coach before and you had a bad experience. Okay. And now you want to work with a coach, but you're like, look, I'm not doing this coaching consulting thing. It was not good for me. I could have said, like, I'm not doing this personal training thing. It was bad for me. No, I didn't show up. Okay. That's fact. Okay. I was eating cupcakes and working out. Fact. That's 100%. I was eating cupcakes. Yes. Okay. And working out with a trainer and having pasta or whatever else I was doing. All right. And the fact of the matter is, I didn't really have a bad experience. What I had was I was not working the program. All right. Because I was watching all these other people get skinny. I was watching all these other people get abs. I was watching all these other people get fit, but me, okay, what? Because I'm having donuts. All right. And I think sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves about that. And yeah, sure. Do we have experiences in our life that deter us? Sure. But you gotta You have to create resolution. You can't allow one thing to keep you from everything that you might need that can change your life. You have to keep leaning in until you find that right system for you, that right process for you. So for example, if I had that belief that, all trainers were bad because I didn't lose weight with a trainer because I decided to eat cupcakes, all right, if that was my belief, I'd stop right there. My growth would stop there, and I wouldn't be as healthy, fit, and strong as I desired because I wasn't taking responsibility. Conversely, if I decide to shift my belief and I say, you know what, I've got to be a partner in my own journey. What does that look like? That means I need to exercise. What kind of support do I need? And I was like, you need to coach yourself, okay? I was talking to me, right? I was like, you need to coach yourself. I decided to invest in a pretty swanky home gym, all right? And I was like, now it's all you. You know what I say? It's just you and you, okay? And you get to say to yourself, hey, why am I not getting these results, or why am I getting these results? Because it's all you. And from that, I was able to, by taking responsibility, see what I need to do, see the changes I need to make, how I need to show up in my own diet, so that I could create results, right? Grow in my own education around my nutrition and my macros, whatever, all right? Just think about it. I hope that what I'm saying is really supporting you. I think sometimes people have a bad experience, and from that experience, they cannot get their mind around, you still need to grow. Okay, you still need to change. Okay. And so find a way that does work and stop focusing on what doesn't work, because you'll be in the exact same place year after year. I hope this is helping. Number 6, bad investments. It's true. All right. And I hear this all the time. Okay. So we're talking about you're only one decision away from living the life that you desire. But sometimes we make bad investments. We make bad investments when we aren't standing at our tallest, right? So imagine buying something because you're like, I need this. Okay. In opposed to looking at your life and saying, in this moment, what would it take for me to be 100%, committed to the kind of results I desire? What does that look like? All right. And what's the full solution for that? Very few people actually invest in a full solution for themselves. I'm going to tell you why. Let me explain what a full solution is. This is what I hear. Sometimes I'll talk to somebody and they've invested with somebody to learn how to do a website. They invested with somebody else to teach them how to sell. They've invested with somebody else to do a micro course. They invested with someone else to teach them about social media. They invest with someone else to learn about how to do ads. And what ends up happening is that they're like, none of this stuff works, or they start to doubt what it is that they're doing. The problem isn't those things. The problem actually is you. Okay. How many teachers, coaches, and mentors and processes can one person follow? I'm pretty sharp. I got to tell you, I've had the same coach for 17 years. I haven't had 17 coaches. I've had the same coach. And when she's made recommendations for me to expand my knowledge, I have then invested in a specialized way. That's it. I cannot learn from so many people. I can't study all day and act, okay? But it's so true, right? Kendra, right? So true, right? It's so true. One of the reasons that I've seen or been able to see and realize my success is because I can actually follow through on the one thing that I learned to do without knowing another way to do something. I don't know another way to do it. I just do it the way that I was taught, and I know one way to do it, and I see it through. And so I want you to think about it. I want you to think about yourself. Are you this person that, every sale, you're going to see a lot of sales right now, okay? But every sale, flash sale, invest in this, you need that, you need this, and you invest in your business, not based on what you need, not a full solution, okay? But you allow the sale to drive what your actions are. Just saying, okay? Look, I'm just saying, like, because maybe you don't need that. Maybe if you just sat with what do you really need? It's one of the things that I've recognized over the years. I support women with packaging their knowledge step by step, how to take what you're doing, sell it for $2,500 or more. I show them how to, as a coach, consultant, trainer, speaker, if you want to do licensing, things like that. I show them how to price what they're doing, to value their transformation. I show them how to get clear on what they're doing. Okay. I show them how to position themselves in the marketplace so they become the obvious choice, so they can stop trying to find what anybody else is doing and talking about competition, because competition is irrelevant if you are good at what you do and you are only staying there, right? Like, you're selling what you know how to do. Well, who cares what somebody else? I could care less. I don't care. There's like 300 million coaches out there or consultants out there that do what I do. Great. Okay. I work with people who want the results that I create. And fortunately, I can back that up. All right. So people want those results. They like my personality. Guess what? Bonus. All right. So that's that. And the same is true for you. So this idea of studying your competitors or seeing what other people are doing or playing small, thinking small, is one of the things that's getting in the way. This idea of trying to do all of these different things from all of these different coaches and strategies, sure, do they work? Yes, but they're not all meant to be worked together. Like, sometimes these things create conflict and confusion for you. I've worked with the same person, like, literally. I was on a call this morning. And you know what? It works for me. We've had a chance to get to know each other exceptionally well. I've had a chance to go deeper in my implementation. I've had a chance to be seen, held accountable, not run from one coach to the next coach because I don't want to do it, because I don't like doing it, because I don't want to show up, because I don't want to be accountable for the investment. I'm being honest. Okay. And I think you need to think about it. All right. Number 7. All right. We're talking, you are one decision away from living the life you desire. And that is being afraid to stand tall. And I'm going to tell you this, that if you want to live the life that you desire, okay, it requires you to stand tall in your gifts and your talent. And so many people that I meet who are talented, smart, sharp, right? They're incredible. I see them for who they are, the giants that they are, but they want to act like ants. They're afraid, right? Like, because maybe you've had people that said, if you act like that, then you're being braggadocious or you're being egotistical. But like, the thing is, like, no one's going to want to work with you if you don't know what it is that you do that's great and you won't tell me. Okay. So it's really important to become aligned with the things that you are good at, particularly for those of you who are thinking about running a business, running a company. The reason I want to work with you is because you're competent in what you do. And you've got to let me know that, right? And be okay with that. And whatever mindset work you need to do, you know what? There should be tons of hearts for this part, because it's just true. Whatever mindset you need to do to stand tall, it will make all the difference. Imagine this. Think about it from this perspective. The doctor, right? Think about a surgeon, okay? Ooh, do you want someone to operate on you and their hand is shaking? Like, I gotcha. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, you good at what you do? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Or are you sure that you would want to work with a surgeon that had a steady hand, that had a level of confidence and belief in their ability to create the results for you? See, what do people really buy? Fact, certainty. Okay. So if someone is investing in your services, someone wants to work with you, they don't know if you can do what you can do, but they know if you're certain that you can solve the results for them. And they know it by intuitively, they know it by the proof that you provide. But if you are afraid to stand tall and tell the truth about what your story, what it is that you've done, your background, your gifts, your talent, you'll never attract the right people. I see so many great people who never get to stand in their value. Why? Because they don't want to stand tall. And it is a mindset game. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that you got value today. Now, today I talked about, very simply, you are just one decision from living the life that you desire. And what I covered, I'll just go with really quickly. And then if there are any questions, you guys can start posting those questions for me. If you're on Facebook, you have to write your name, because I can't see your name here, okay? On this platform, write your name after your comment so I can see it. All right. Awesome. You're one decision away from living the life you desire. I covered number 1, fear is one of the biggest things that gets in the way, right? It's not false evidence appearing real. It's like not one to step into the fear zone, because in that fear zone, you get to live with another gift. You find out things about yourself when you lean into the things that scare you. Like, you're like, really? I'm pretty amazing. But if we never lean into fear, you never get to see her. You never get to know her. You never get to know what your capacity is. Number two, belief about yourself, right? So imagine that sometimes we don't live the life that we desire because the beliefs that we have about what's possible for us are limited. All right. And the fact of the matter is, what I see with most of my clients is that there is a layer of money around you that you cannot see. I mentioned at the top of this live, I did my event last week, the Giant Circle Conference, and the next one's in January 11th through 15th. And the conference, one of the women, she leaves Friday. Saturday, she closed a $15,000 deal. It was always available to her. She just didn't know. She didn't have the belief. She didn't have the step-by-step tools, but once she had it, she could do it. And maybe that's true for you. Number three, putting yourself last. You got to put yourself first. And if you're following me, yep, you know what? If this doesn't resonate with you, putting yourself first, I'm probably not for you, because I'm going to tell you that if you are female, okay, and you got to lead from the front. You got to show your kids who you really are. And I think one of the most selfish things ever is to be a mom and your kids not know you paint. They not know how brilliant you are. They never get to know that part of you because you won't share her, okay? Putting yourself last is not the answer. It is the problem. All right. Not understanding what's on the other side. See, if you don't move in the direction of the thing you really want to do, I really want to write a book. I really want to start a business. And you really want, okay, that's the only thing that's growing right now is the want. Okay. And so you gotta get on that other side, from that wanting to the doing. Okay. And it's a whole different thing over there. I tell you, I thank God all the time that I get to do what I love to do with people I love to do it with, in the way that I had just dreamed of years ago. Bad experience, right? So sometimes you have a bad experience and it keeps you, because it's like a block in your mind. Like, when I did this before, this is what happened. Okay. You need to get over that. Okay. Because you can't allow one thing, one situation, one whatever to be the reason that you can't get to the other side. And you got to understand that about yourself, that that's a blocker, and that you got to do what you need to do to remove that so that you can get to the other side. When I think about the number of people like, this person hurt my feelings, so therefore you what? This thing was too hard, so therefore you what? Right? Come on. All right. You're bigger than this. All right. And this is part of personal growth. It's understanding you got to transcend things that happen to you. All right. You're not that. All right. Number, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Bad investments. We do it. Some of you guys are making bad investments because you're not investing at a level that you can. If you invest at a level that you don't want to walk away because of the investment, you'll show up differently. When you invest $100 in something, like I did these Tabo videos, I bought Tabo videos and I watched Billy Blanks do Tabo. I would like sit downstairs on the couch and he would like do, I started with him, but it was a lot going on. And I was like, I just rather watch this. It was amazing to watch him. So, but it was $100, right? But if I invest in a trainer, which I mentioned this, I went to all my personal sessions. Very few did I ever miss because of the level of investment. Maybe you need to be investing higher so you show up differently. And afraid to stand tall. And if you want to change your life, you want to be a giant for sure. I only work with giants. You got to decide you're going to be tall. You got to stand tall in your truth. That means tell the truth about what is it that you really do that's exceptional about your process, your method. Own that. Be okay with that. And you will attract around you other women who are like-minded. Here's a tip. You know how no matter in any environment, it could be the best environment ever. You ever notice that there's some people who, whenever they're in an environment, they're always at the top of that environment, meaning people that own ambition level and above. And there are others that are always at the lowest part, meaning with people that aren't their ambition level and above. Now, one group's talking about what they're going to do, how they're going to crush it, blah, blah, blah. And the other group's talking about what didn't work, what's not going to work, and who doesn't love them. All right. You need to ask yourself, where are you? Okay. Okay. And you got to understand that's a function of your thought life. All right. When I walk into any room that I'm investing in, I'm hanging out with the people crushing it. That's just it. Okay. Those are the people I want to hang with. I'm reaching tall to my mentor, my coach. I don't want a lot of opinions. If my coach would, she was here right now, she'd tell you, I don't want a lot of opinions. I do not care what anybody else thinks. She's the person that I'm working with. She's the person that's coaching me. She's the person with the proof and the results. Why am I asking anybody else their opinion? And why are you? Ask yourself that. Okay, so that's what I talked about today. I hope that this has supported you. I would love to see your comments here and any ahas or takeaways or questions that you might have for me before I wrap up today. I'm going to go back to the one question and I'll post it here. And it was, love what you're saying, curious about what the process with your coaching entails. What we'll do is we'll post here a free webinar, okay? And you can watch it. It's about 45 minutes. And I break down sort of the essence of what I do. And I would say if you watch it and it resonates with you, okay, then you'll know what to do for the next step, right? So we don't really just work with people that don't know what I do. I'm a coach and a consultant. I've coached women for over a decade. I help them, sharp, smart women who are highly actionable, package their knowledge into high ticket offerings. I hold you accountable to be the light in your life that you need to be for yourself, right? Because you already have it. And I show you step by step how to take the ideas you have in your head, even if you don't even know what the business is, how to build that business, how to structure that business in a high ticket business that's time rich. And I show you how to set up your sales process, etc. So, that's it. I only teach what I know how to do. So I don't teach anything theoretical. Everything that I show my clients, I have done. And I can show you that I did it, right? I just showed a bunch on Thursday, so that's a novel concept. And sometimes people aren't into that. Sometimes people don't want to see truth. They want hype. And I would say, you got to think about that for yourself, right? So, okay, Angel, I answered that question. Reshell writes, transcend things that happen to you. I like that, right? So you do. And I think whenever I hear people that are always talking about what happened to them in the past, look, I'm not going that way. All right. You're not going that way. Let's talk about this moment right here and where you're trying to go. All right. You're trying to package what you know. I would love to support you. And Princella writes, hey, Mia. Hey, Princella. I'm glad. She says, I'll check out the replay. Awesome. Are there any questions or comments? Kendra writes, much value. Thank you. Okay. Yes. So Nancy writes, hey, Nancy, cute picture. I like the statement. If you invest a dollar amount that you can't walk away from, you won't just walk away. A person will hold themselves accountable and making sure that they complete the task and learn what they invested in. Absolutely, right? So that's one of the differences between a low ticket investor and a high ticket investor. Like a low ticket investor is investing, so they're like, let me just try and see. All my investments from the beginning were high ticket for me, but I'm my number one investment, right? Is she in the house? She's in the house. You guys need to follow her. Jackie, hey there, darling. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. So, one of the things that you got to know is that you're your number one investment, period. And it's just so true. There she is, Jessica, abundant value. Thank you. Another giant, guys. And I just got to say, I love highly actionable women. And nothing happens in your life because you have a thought. Okay. It happens because you have a thought, you take an action. Okay. But ultimately, your words influence your thoughts influence how you feel, and your feelings influence your actions. So it all starts with what we say. Like if I told you the number of times that someone has a question for me, instead of asking the question right away, they say, I'm stuck. Okay. Like, hi, Mia. I'm stuck. It's like, you're not stuck. Okay. You're talking about building an amazing business, right? These are giant questions in your life and your world to change your world. And you've convinced yourself that you're stuck because you're trying to figure out what that next step looks like. Do you have to understand how to embrace what big looks like? And part of that is at times that you're like, hey, okay, what's that next level look like? I've got a question about what this could look like. Ask the right questions so you can get the right answers. This is such a powerful conversation because If you ask the wrong questions, you get those answers. All right. Final call. Any other questions or comments or anything like that before I sign off? I want to thank you for being here tonight. You could have been anywhere, but you are here, and I'm glad that you came tonight. I love you, and I will see you later this week, I'm sure. Talk to you soon. Bye.